Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. I hope you are all doing well today. My vacation has officially started. I'm home, but I leave tomorrow for the road trip with all the dogs. And I'm super excited, so I'm sneaking in a little bit of a book haul with a theme. These are all books that have been given to me. One I bought myself, but it came highly recommended, so I'm considering it a give. And I have, I think, five of them to tell you about. And I'm super excited about every single one of them, so hopefully they will excite you too and make it onto your TBR. So the first book that I'm going to tell you about is Martin and John by Dale Peck. Now, this book was recommended to me by Ollie over at Book Draw. I will link his channel down below. And his channel is super interesting because he focuses on queer fiction, and he also draws these images after he's finished with the book, and he kind of leads you through that process as he also reviews the book in another video. I find it really interesting. I think you guys would really like him, so check out his channel below. But he says that this is his favorite book. So, Martin and John, what is it about? This is a gay love story, and as far as I can tell, it's about two men, Martin and John, who find each other at different points of their life in different times. So it's kind of like they'll find, let me read the back to you just to make sure. Is a tour de force of shifting identities in which Martin and John find each other again and again in a trailer park, a high-end jewelry store, a Kansas barn, and later in New York City, living under the shadow of the AIDS epidemic. Though their names remain the same, their identities are constantly shifting, creating a fractured view of loss and desire in the early years of the AIDS crisis. So, one, I always love when people tell me what their favorite book is, and then I go out and I get it. And he was so excited about me reading this book, and so I'm super excited about it too. So that's Martin and John by Dale Peck. I will tell you, it's not easy to get a hold of. So if you go looking for it, check your libraries. It comes under another name, which I'm not going to say on my channel. But you may find it under Dale Peck's name under another title. So that's the first one. The second book, you guys have no idea how excited I am. So Emily, my friend Emily, and my friend Chris went to Book Expo as the Book Cougars. I know I talk about them a lot. I totally adore them. And they were in line. Actually, I was on Twitter, and I saw that one of my favorite authors was signing her books, Tayari Jones. And Tayari was a Booktopia author at the very first Booktopia I went to in Santa Cruz, where I read her book Silver Sparrow, and I loved it. And I've kind of been following her ever since. She was kind of my book crush of Booktopia Santa Cruz. Well, I saw her online, and I was like, Emily, if you happen to see Tayari Jones and you can get me a copy of her book, her new book coming out, I would be so excited. And then she texts me back, and she's in line for Tayari Jones' new book, An American Marriage. And she got me a copy. And she got me a copy of The Ark, which is even better. She got it signed for me, and I am so excited. So, what is this book about? I just read the inside of it to try to give you a good idea, and I'm not sure I'm totally going to be able to tell you about it because it sounds like it's going to be fascinating. But it's the story of Celeste and Roy, and it was actually inspired by her research into the epidemic of mass incarceration in the United States. And she says that she buried herself, I say that word wrong all the time, she buried herself in statistics, oral history, sociological tracts, and memoirs. And then she overheard a conversation between two people, and this is what it says. The woman says, Roy, you know you wouldn't have waited on me for 7 years. He looked puzzled and then replied, this wouldn't have happened to you in the first place. And Tayari says, not wanting to intrude, I looked away, but their voices, in love and in pain, activated my imagination. The next morning I woke up at 5 a.m. and sat down at my typewriter. At last, I was working on a new novel. Come on. How good does that sound? So I don't know where I'm going to fit this in quite yet, but I know it will happen soon. If you haven't read Silver Sparrow by Tayari Jones, I highly recommend you pick it up. It's about a little girl who finds out that her father has a second family, and she goes sort of out to meet this second family. And oh, it's so good, guys. So get that and then be ready for this. I'm not sure. Oh, it doesn't come out till February of 2018. So sorry for the teaser. But I definitely recommend Tayari Jones. So the next book was recommended to me. God, and it's a chunkster. At Booktopia, I saw Lisa Coe, who I've talked about a lot, and I asked her to recommend to me a book to read. And she said that I should read The Castle Cross the Magna Carta by Kia Corthron. Now, I couldn't find a copy of this book, so Anne Kingman of Books on the Nightstand fame sent me a copy, so I'm super happy. One, it is so big, you guys. It's a chunkster. How long is this thing? It's over 750 pages. So there you go. So let me read to you what it's about. On the eve of America's entry into World War II, in a tiny Alabama town, two brothers come of age in the shadow of a local chapter of the Klan, when Randall, a brilliant 8th grader and the son of a sawmill worker, begins teaching sign language to his 18-year-old deaf and uneducated brother, BJ. Simultaneously, in small-town Maryland, the sons of Pullman Porter, gifted 6-year-old Elliot, and artistic 12-year-old brother Dwight, grow up navigating a world enlarged both by a visit from civil and labor rights activist A. Philip Randolph and by the legacy of a lynched great-aunt. The four mature into men directly confronting the fierce resistance to the early civil rights movement and are all ultimately uprooted. How good does that sound? She said that this may be as sad as A Little Life. So that kind of scares me a little bit. But when Lisa Coe and Anne Kingman tell you to read a book, you have to do it. So that's The Castle Cross the Magna Carta by Kia Corthron. Look at that. And again, it is huge. And look at how cool that cover is. Those are linked arms. How cool is that? Cool. So pick that one up. Then, I told you in my last video that my friend Steve went to Europe and he went to London and he got me that amazing copy of The Essex Serpent. Well, he also got me this book when he asked the bookseller in Waterstones a book that was like The Essex Serpent that everyone was reading. He recommended this, and it's The Ashes of London by Andrew Taylor, and it says 1666, as the city burns, the hunt for a killer begins. What a great cover, right? I don't know much about it. So it says, a city in flames, London, 1666. As the great fire consumes everything in its path, the body of a man is found in the ruins of St. Paul's Cathedral, stabbed in the neck, thumbs tied behind his back. A woman on the run. James Marwood, the son of a trader, is forced to hunt the killer through the city's devastated streets. There he encounters a determined young woman who will stop at nothing to secure her freedom. A killer seeking revenge. When a second murder victim washes up on the Fleet Ditch, Marwood is drawn into the political and religious intrigue of Westminster and across the path of a killer who will with nothing to lose. Oh my God, I kind of want to stop and just read this right now. It sounds so good. The cover's great. So that's The Ashes of London by Andrew Taylor, brought to me from London by my friend Steve. And last but not least, kind of talked about that it was coming, but Mr. Simon Savage does not let me down and sent me a copy of The Good People by Hannah Kent, and it's signed by the author, which is absolutely fantastic. And I know I just told you guys in one of my wrap-ups that I just finished Burial Rites by Hannah Kent and adored it, and I have told that this is even better. This cover is gorgeous. Look at the gold leaf. And let me tell you what it's about. It's County Kerry, Ireland, 1825. Nora, bereft after the sudden death of her beloved husband, finds herself alone and caring for her young grandson, Michael. Michael cannot speak and cannot walk, and Nora is desperate to know what's wrong. Mary arrives in the valley just as whispers are spreading, stories of unexplained misfortunes of illness and rumors that Michael is a changeling child who is bringing bad luck to the valley. Nance knows how to use the plants and berries of the woodland. She understands the magic in the old ways. To the new priest, she is a threat, but to the valley people, she is a healer, and she might be able to help Michael. All these three women are drawn together in the hope of restoring Michael. Their world of folklore and faith, of ritual and stories, tightens around them. It will lead them down a dangerous path and force them to question everything they have ever known. Come on. Does that sound fantastic? This comes out in the U.S. in, I want to say, September. But you can. I will link it below on Book Depository. You can get it now if you want. So, thank you, Simon Savage. Thank you, Steve Silvis. Thank you, Lisa Coe and Ann Kingman. Thank you, Emily Fine and Tiara Jones. I'm so excited. And thanks, Ollie, for recommending this. As always, I will put all these books below with links. If you've read any of them, please let me know what you think. If you are going to read any of them or you purchase them, let me know. And I cannot wait to get to them. So 5 books sent to me or recommended to me by friends. What's the best book that you guys have ever been recommended by a friend? I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.